Alright, here's the works. This is what makes the needle go up and down. Take up lever here pulls the thread, bink, so that your stitch is tight. Servicing this area is pretty straightforward. You just turn the hand wheel and you see any place like here, see where there's metal on metal, you just put a drop of oil on there, and a drop of oil on this bar here. Inside here. Sometimes on things like these knuckles you'll find, this machine does not have it, sometimes there's a little hole in the top of it. Not that hole. Sometimes there's a little hole in the very top there. That's where you drop it. Put a drop of oil. And just basically any place where you see metal on metal. There. In there. In here. Inside there. See this little arm here. It's a tiny, tiny little hole there. And basically all you do is you take your, these are nice, they have the long tube on them. Zoom oiler. And drop, that's all you need, just a drop. Just a drop. And you work it in. And I can never stress it enough when you're oiling your sewing machine to use sewing machine oil. Oil formulated for sewing machines. Because 3-in-1 oil, though it works, over time it gets gummy and, well, sticky. The opposite to what it is. It gets gummy and sticky. And cotton is very dusty if you're sewing a lot of cotton, and it makes a gunked up mess. Sewing machine oil is nice and light, and it works, you know, at fairly high speeds. And certainly do not use WD-40. WD-40 is too light, and because it's made with fish oil, it's also very corrosive if left in place for too long. What I use WD-40 for is to, you know, if it's sticking there, I use it to break up sticky mechanisms and then clean it out and put proper oil in there. Because yes, the sewing machine is a precision instrument. Pretty straightforward stuff. This is your presser foot. Let me see how that functions. I don't have enough fingers here. You see how everything interacts with each other. This is your tension assembly here, where your thread is. Now right now, because the presser foot is up, the tension is off the discs. They're loose. But watch this piece right here. This fellow right here. As you raise and lower the presser foot. See what it's doing with the tension? This end here pushes on that, which releases the tension. So if that gets bent, clogged, you can see the tension discs out here are moving. And like everywhere else, any place you see metal on metal, like right there, just put just a drop. That's all it takes. Oops. And you just work it in, up and down, up and down. this piece here that releases the tension doesn't really need oil. It just sits there. See, it just flops around. Its sole purpose is when you raise the presser foot, it releases the tension, thread tension. Work that into place. Now this spring here, see if I can do this with the 6 hands I don't have. This spring here is your presser foot pressure. How hard the presser foot pushes down against the feed dogs. So if you're sewing fine material, you don't want that pushing down too hard. Well, on your sewing machine, at the very top, there's this little doobie dabber. Come on, camera. Come on, camera. There's too much going on here. Come on. Anyways, this is your presser foot pressure. This is the release for it. When it's all the way up like that, there's no pressure on the presser foot. It's just flopping around. Come on, camera. I don't have enough hands. The spring is completely released. There's no pressure whatsoever. You'd also want to do it if you're darning something and you want to be able to move the fabric around. You just release the pressure, presser foot pressure, and lower the feed dogs, and then you can do free motion. And there too, depending on your material, the finer material is, you want less pressure. If you're sewing on blue jeans, you want to push that all the way down, and now you've got full pressure. One more little point way in back here to get with oil, and then that area will be finished being serviced. Here we are in the belly of the beast. There's all the works. Gee, I wonder who made this sewing machine. Hard pressed to guess who made this machine. Being a straight stitch machine, this is as pretty basic a mechanism as you're going to get. And like the top side, under here, there's the holes in places that are critical. Again, it's metal. Any place you see metal on metal. Any place you see metal on metal, you put a drop of oil. Turn the hand in here. Okay, you see that? Okay, that's moving. Alright. See, the end of this here, there's a hole that lets you drop oil down on the top of this here, this slider. This is a critical thing that needs to be slippery. In here are pivots. That's a pivot there, pivot there. This crank is driven off the main shaft. It runs the feed dogs. So, you know, make sure there's oil inside here. In the joint here, there's a pivot on this side. Yeah, it's getting into the dark reaches. Pivot over here. Where are you? Where are you? Pivot right here. This mechanism here is the feed dog drop. When you turn the knob here, it pulls that pin out, and that just reduces how much this can move. Raise the feed dogs again, and basically just, you know, any place you see metal on metal, drop in there, probably wouldn't hurt. Oops, find the camera, there we go. Drop in there wouldn't hurt. Drop under here wouldn't hurt. As I said, servicing a sewing machine it's not rocket science. It's all the other nonsense that can happen that is a science. Getting the timings all timed to each other, and over here too. Pivot there, pivot, a couple pivots up in there. Just turn it by hand, put a drop of oil on any place where you see metal on metal. Like I said, this is a straight stitch machine. There's really not a lot of mechanism in here. When you start getting into zigzags, then you get, you get lots of levers and cams and stuff. And basically all a sewing machine does is it converts rotary motion into reciprocating, up and down. Which, by the way, is completely opposite to how the engine in your car works. It converts up and down into round and round. Pretty straightforward stuff. It can get pretty grungy down here. One time I had a machine come in, belonged to a little old Italian lady. She oiled her machine with olive oil. Yes, olive oil. Well, it's good for you, it must be good for the machine, she says. Well, yeah, no. It's the first time I'd ever had to use a pressure washer on a sewing machine to clean it. Oh, it was, it was fun. Alright, we'll get it all slicked up, and then we can get up way up inside there as best we can. Here we are. This is the guts of the beast. It's kind of hard to film in here because I can't get a tiny enough camera close enough. So this mechanism here pretty much just controls your feed dogs. This here, that controls your feed dog up and down. That's your feed dog up and down. This is your feed dog back and forth. When you adjust the stitch length, you see here, that changes. That's for your stitch length. And it's like any place else on the machine, wherever, any place you see metal on metal, give her a drop of oil. Now, last time I tried this, I punched the camera because I'm hanging upside down. There's the stitch length, some oil on it. These two rods here are accessible also from the top of the machine. There's a couple of big holes. Maybe you can see the tip of my screwdriver inside there at all. It is kind of dark. No. Anyways, there are holes in the top of the machine that let you reach those items for oiling. And you just put a couple drops in there. Work it in, work it in, work it, work it. And that's pretty much all there is to servicing a sewing machine. Basic rule, wherever you see metal on metal, put a drop of oil. If it's dirty, give it a wipe, give it a rub, give it a scrub. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. It's always good to keep an old toothbrush around. They're great for cleaning everything. Q-tips are good to have too. Q-tips are your friend as well for cleaning and oiling. And there you have it. Alright, here we are, looking straight down on top of the machine here. Now I've already serviced inside the end here, behind that cover. We've already serviced down below here. Now I want to take our attention to the top of the machine. Now on these older machines that don't have a removable top, most of them you'll find have these holes. Well, funny enough, these holes all line up with critical parts of the mechanism. And there's one in here, and here. And oiling them is pretty straightforward. These two in particular are the main bearings that support the shaft that the hand wheel is attached to. Okay, that's your main upper shaft. Those are critical. So you take your oiler with the zoomy spout and you stick it down in the hole there till it bottoms out. That means it's touching the bearing. And just let it, you know, drip a couple times. Same thing over here. You can also just drip, drip, put a couple drops down inside there. And just work it in, turning your hand wheel. Spin the hand wheel. This big hole here coincides with the, there's an arm down inside there that controls the feed dogs, which is also accessible through a cover on the back. This hole here, this oils up the hand wheel. You want the hand wheel on the inside to be loose so you can wind your bobbin without sewing anything. So this hole here, again, you stick the tube inside there and drip, drip, drip. It is possible to under-oil them, it's possible to over-oil them. The only disadvantage to over-oiling them is, you know, it might get on your project. So after you've oiled your machine, it's a good idea to just run it without a project, just to get the oil working in, and you know, you can see all the spots where it might drip on your project. There's a top view of that presser foot pressure. When it's popped all the way up, released, and there's no pressure on the presser foot. There too, you want to put a drop or two of oil inside that. There's that. This hole here will oil the top of the needle bar. So again, put your spout in there. This hole here coincides with the works inside there. You can just drop a couple drops down inside there. No harm done. Same thing with this hole here. Just a couple drops fall down inside there. They are strategically placed. They've been engineered to land where they're supposed to land. Now, tilt this machine back a little bit here. I like this spool pin thing here, spool pin. And you push it down, it's out of the way. You restore the machine, and you just push it here. Boink! Ha ha ha! Nice little feature. Everything on this machine is metal. There's no cheapy chintzy plastic anywhere. Alright, this is your stitch length regulator. Now we've done the easy part. Pretty much the surface. Next step is to get down deep into the machinery and do that servicing. See, I can feel it running smoother already.